Hey Earth Angels, last week Pisces season ended and we officially entered the bold and fiery season of Aries. We also experienced the beautiful spring equinox kicking off the astrological new year. We are officially out of hibernation and should take advantage of the self-starting, take action, cardinal energy that Aries embodies. Aries season also sees us entering eclipse season. We will experience the full moon eclipse this Monday at 3 a.m. In this video, I'll share the energy we can expect this week triggered by the eclipse. I'll then share full moon lunar eclipse horoscopes for all 12 signs. My name is Pisces Leandra. I am an astrologer and wellness professional. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Let's dive in. So eclipse season is upon us. Eclipses happen in pairs around the new moon, solar eclipse, and full moon, lunar eclipse. In astrology, eclipses are known as wild cards. They often force us to pay attention to certain areas in our life, often asking us to shake things up and making sure it happens one way or another if we don't take the hint. Ultimately, their goal is to help us get to the next step in our journey, our life's purpose, getting out of complacency and our usual routines to help us level up. Eclipses signal change, often rapidly, all of a sudden, but sometimes gradually, when you finally come to a realization that a change must be needed. So this eclipse pair is happening in the signs of Aries and Libra, signaling that independence and relationships are both topics that will come to light during this season. This Monday, we are experiencing a lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. In astrology, just like full moons, full moon lunar eclipses usually mark endings or culmination points. They often force us to release things that are not serving our higher selves. Many astrologers say that eclipses have the strength of multiple new moons or full moons, so it's a powerful spiritual time. Though we'll get into the horoscopes for all 12 signs to highlight which house this is affecting for each sign, relationships, finding balance, harmony, and justice will be themes that may play out in your life or society as a whole. Libra's ruling planet is Venus, so we can say that this full moon lunar eclipse is also ruled by Venus. Venus rules relationships, harmony, beauty, finance, and she is currently in Pisces where she's exalted, meaning she's in her strongest and favorite position, so she's able to express herself and her significations effortlessly. We do also have to remember that Saturn, planet of restriction, lessons, and determination, is also hanging out with Pisces now. So thoughts on what may be limiting your potential or where you may need more discipline in your life could also come up during this time. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that many who practice spell work, magic, or manifestation practices often take a break during the eclipse season. This is often because eclipses bring such powerful, potent, wild card energy. Many believe that spell work, rituals, or manifestation techniques won't give you the results you're hoping for. Honestly, it's up to you and your spiritual practices if you want to actively use the eclipses in your practice. No judgment here. I just want to make sure you have all of the information. Now let's get into the full moon lunar eclipse horoscopes for all 12 signs. And remember, eclipse energy can last up to 6 months, so you could see the themes of these horoscopes playing out during that time frame. Since it's Aries season, we're going to start with the powerful rams for the next few weeks. Aries, the full moon eclipse is happening in your 7th house of relationships. The focus for this full moon is in your close relationships and business partnerships. With the moon opposing the sun and Chiron in this lineup, the eclipse is asking you to release the pieces in your close relationships that may be hurting you. And Chiron in Aries is asking you to take a good look at yourself and identify what you may be doing to hurt yourself and others and your relationships. Again, Venus is ruling this eclipse, and with her near Saturn in your 12th house, mental distractions and how they affect you may also come up. The eclipse will encourage you to break old habits that are stressing out your mental state and help you establish healthier ways to deal with stress and working towards your goals. Taurus risings and suns. This eclipse is happening in your 6th house of day-to-day work life and health. This Libra eclipse is asking you to find more balance in your daily routines, and this can especially highlight your health. This is a great time to evaluate those specific routines. Are you getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, getting exercise in? With Saturn in the mix with Venus, you might get some specific lessons on taking better care of your health. Use this full moon to rid yourself of bad habits that may be negatively affecting your overall health. If you take no action, you will feel those effects over the next 6 months. If you take great action, you'll also feel those effects over the next 6 months. Gemini, y'all are up next. This full moon in Libra is happening in your 5th house of joy, creativity, pleasure, and children. This is a great house for the eclipse to be focused in. With Venus ruling this eclipse, creativity is definitely at the forefront for you. Something that you may have passionately been working on gets the green light, or the recognition you've been waiting for to take you to the next level happens. Use this beautiful Venusian energy to help you continue to ignite your passions. Keep working it, and you'll see that all your hard work that you've put in will put you in a great position in the next 6 months. For Cancers, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 4th house of home, family, and privacy sector. Full moons, as we've mentioned before, mark culmination points. With our lesser benefic ruling this eclipse, there are a couple of ways this full moon could play out for you. If you've been searching for a new home, you may land the perfect place for yourself right now. Or you could be redecorating your home, getting rid of items that no longer serve you. If you've been dealing with a family issue, you may receive a resolution to help you plan out the next 6 months more accurately. You could also feel the need to stay home and work on some goals that may help you expand your future with Venus and Saturn joined in your 9th house of wisdom and education. For Leo suns and risings, this full moon lunar eclipse is in your 3rd house of communication. The full moon represents a great opportunity to get clear on your communication and mindset. With Venus ruling this full moon and linking up with Saturn in your house that rules transformation and psychology, your communication and thinking can get an amazing transformation. You may be thinking deeply on how your communication affects your relationships and how you move about the world. With this profound transformation being highlighted during this time, your career sector could also benefit as Saturn and Venus are making a sign-based sextile with Uranus and Jupiter, who have been parked in Taurus for months now. For Virgo risings and suns, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 2nd house of values, income, and resources. This full moon is asking you to think about your current values and any one-to-one relationships related. Are they serving you? Are there any habits or practices that you should let go of during this moon cycle? You may be compelled to adopt some new values or change your current life viewpoint or direction. Uranus, our planet of revolution and sudden changes, has been teaming up with Jupiter, our planet of expansion and optimism, in your 9th house of wisdom and spirituality, encouraging you to set off on a new path and journey for your life, breaking free of past expectations that have been holding you back. For Libras, this is happening in your 1st house of self, identity, physical appearance, and life direction. This is a big lunar eclipse for you. And the cycle for your self-discovery journey really started when the eclipse cycle started last October. Think about where you were then. 6 months ago, you've likely dealt with some lessons that have helped you grow. You'll continue to be on your self-discovery journey in the next 6 months. With the eclipse in this house, you're being asked to think about parts of yourself that you've been holding on to that no longer serve you. Be brave enough to let them go. You are due for a profound transformation with Uranus, our planet of sudden changes and revolution, teaming up with Jupiter, our planet of blessings and expansion, and your 8th house of transformation. Embrace the change and see the positivity that results. Scorpio suns and rising. This eclipse is happening in your 12th house of spirituality, the subconscious, hidden places, and endings. You're likely feeling the need to retreat during this time. This eclipse is asking you to go within, uncover the subjects that have been holding you back, or causing you great worry. Now is the time to work on letting go. It's also a wonderful time to lean into any spiritual practice if you have one. You'll find that meditation during this time will provide you with great relief. This could also be a time of creativity or spiritual downloads with spiritual dreamy Neptune and Venus in her favorite spot in Pisces and your 5th house of creativity. Sagittarius, you all are up next. So this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 11th house of associations, groups, friendships, and hopes and wishes. You're really being asked to take inventory and also evaluate all the circles of people you run with. In terms of your future and your goals, are those groups, associations, or personal friendships helping you get where you want to be? If they're holding you back, it's a good time to decide if spending less time with them would be beneficial for you. With Venus in her favorite spot of Pisces in your 4th house, you could also be thinking about your home life versus your social life. You may be compelled to spend more time at home or figure out ways to get greater balance. Overall, this eclipse season is asking you and others to find the balance in your overall life and daily activities. For my Capricorn risings and suns, this full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your 10th house of career and reputation. If you are feeling undervalued or like your talents are not getting the recognition they deserve, this is a great time to remind people of the tremendous talent you possess. Not only is your career and reputation highlighted right now, but ambitious and determined Mars is teaming up with his lover Venus in your 3rd house of communication. Not only will you have the confidence to share your talents and accomplishments with your manager or leadership, you'll also be able to find the right words to express yourself. Let go of any imposter syndrome during this eclipse cycle. Let your talents be known. Next, we have Aquarius risings and sun. For you all, this eclipse is happening in your 9th house of philosophy and beliefs. You also have Mars, planet of motivation and determination, teaming up with Venus, who rules our worth and values, in your 2nd house of resources, values, and foundations. This eclipse has you contemplating your overall life direction. Maybe in the past, you've been scared to make some serious changes that could help you achieve your biggest goals, but will obviously take you out of your comfort zone. This eclipse will give you the push you need to move past your fears and level up to the new path that your higher self is meant for. This Venus ruled eclipse will help you evaluate how your relationships are helping or hurting the values and belief systems you want to align yourself with. For Pisces, this full moon is happening in your 8th house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, and other people's money. You will experience profound transformation in these areas. With Chiron in opposition to the full moon in your 2nd house, you could experience some deep emotions or situations that may cause pain as it relates to your intimate one-to-one relationships. With the sun also in your 2nd house, things that you've been burying in your relationships will come up. Use this time frame to process and work through any uncomfortable feelings. Though you may experience some pain as you go through this transformation, use this time frame to process and work through any uncomfortable feelings. So there are the full moon lunar eclipse horoscopes for all 12 signs. Remember, the power of these eclipses lasts for the next 6 months. So you'll likely see some of the things that I mentioned in your horoscope play out during that time frame. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If you like what you heard today, please give this video a like or subscribe to my channel. Or if you're interested in a personal astrology reading, please check the link in my description box. Really appreciate you all. Have a fantastic week. Thanks so much.